Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're going to have fun playing Magic. And I'm going to get rid of my camera actually here because my camera has been having lots of issues, but I'm really excited to dive into this deck. So let me go ahead and hide myself until the gameplay, and then let's dive into this. We built this deck, or I built this deck around Loot the Key to Everything, which is so fun. And I love that this is like what the culmination of everything comes down to, with a storyline as well. And also Oko, the Ringleader. And so everyone in the world, the two things that we want in life is loot and abs, obviously. And so we got it in this deck. That's what we're here for. Loot the Key to Everything is a pretty cool card too. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of card types among other non-land permanents you control. You may play those cards this turn. So if we just have loot out there, that is a creature, which will mean that at the beginning of our upkeep, we exile one card, and if it's a land, we can play it, which is really nice. If we have another artifact from like a Spyglass Siren, then we can get two. If we have Oko out in the battlefield, that's a Planeswalker as well, so we can hopefully get to three. We have artifacts here with Urabrask Forge as well, and then we have battles with the Invasion of Tarkir. I didn't have a good idea for enchantment that really worked with what I was going for, and so, but ultimately, having a consistency of creatures, artifacts, and planeswalkers makes this still pop off really well, and battles as well. Like I've had Invasion out here, and I've been able to, in play testing, get 4 cards off of this, or 3 or 4 consistently. And at the beginning of your turn, if you're just getting 3 extra cards, you know, be able to hit a land, be able to just kind of fill out to make sure you're maximizing mana and still keeping your hand fully stocked for whenever you need to do something else, is really powerful. This is a kind of kill on sight type card, and the biggest issue of it is that it is way below the curve. And honestly, that is a big deal in this format right now, is playing out a turn 3 1/2 isn't super great when you're trying to block, you know, anything that mono red is throwing at you, or anything Boros is throwing at you, or even mono green, or any other deck, or the mono black decks. And so it is not amazing, but that's why we have to make sure we have a really good early game plan. Siren Spyglass, Gala Greeters are both really powerful, as well as Aether Channeler. I feel like create a lot of good little bodies on the battlefield to be able to block enough, be able to return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand with Aether Channeler as well. And so we got a lot of different options that we can go with this, as well as a bit of removal. And then, of course, we have Oko. The nice thing about this is I can turn any Oko into any of these creatures. Specifically, Gala Greeters is awesome. Be able to turn Oko into Gala Greeters. I tested this out. Turning him into a Gala Greeters and then playing out a creature and being able to gain 4 life immediately is a big swing life-wise when you're up against mono red. And then you can turn him into a Spyglass to get in for like extra point of damage. And the best thing, of course, is turning him into Terror of the Peaks. Terror of the Peaks, 5 mana, 5/4 flyer dragon, which is my favorite dragon. I think like this is by far just my favorite dragon, and I know there's lots of others that are out there that are probably better, but this one I just have had the most fun with in all of my previous videos. You know, I've done like 1,400 videos at this point now, and I think I probably have way too many of those being Terror of the Peaks videos, and I'm so excited it's back. But yeah, 5 mana, 5/4. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. And that's a big deal. Having it go to any target is a really big deal. And this deck really is built around trying to get as many triggers of Terror of the Peaks triggers as possible, instead of going for just the big hits. We want to be able to, you know, get out Aether Channeler after we play a Terror of the Peaks, and we get 2 damage, and then we can play the bird and get another point of damage. If we have Oko turn into Terror of the Peaks, that is a lot of different triggers, so we can take out all of the little guys. And then, of course, we have Nissa to play our big, beefy, busted stuff to be able to get in the plant token there. There was a couple other cards I tried out early game that could help out a little bit. Like there's the new, let me see if I can just find it, the Spree card in green, which is pretty good. That's the wrong way to do that. We know what we're doing. I know how to do this. All right. Dance of the Tumbleweeds is a card that I was thinking of bringing in, but it was way too slow. But I thought this would be a kind of fun one to be able to ramp up to Terror of the Peaks with the first part of Spree, and then you could also create an you know, for 5 mana, create an XX elemental token where X is the number of lands you control. So it kind of be a combo with Terror of the Peaks. I think that's maybe a different kind of deck that we're going for that I might do later. But I like how this works out so far. 3 Steps Ahead is also a fun one. It gives us a little bit of counter magic so we can kind of interact at least a little bit with the combo deck, the mono black combo deck, and then also being able to create a token that's a copy of target artifact or creature control. I mean, that's just perfect with Terror of the Peaks. I don't know how it works with Oko. If you turn it into an Oko, would it then like stop being Oko at the end of the turn? Does it keep that bit of text, or is it just, I think it probably just stays the same creature. Who knows? I will find out. Anyway, so let's go dive into gameplay, see how this deck works out, and we'll talk about it again at the end. Let's dive into it. All right, I'm back. Let me know if this is also bothersome having it up here. I haven't seen it to be so bad in editing. I know what's wrong with my camera. I have the cord pinched, and it's just been pinched when I changed my setup, and I didn't notice it for a long time. And so it's just something that I got to fix. I don't actually see it when I'm recording. I have to go in after the fact, and then I see the result. And so I just because I haven't recorded in so long, I never knew that there was an issue with my camera. So I'll hopefully be figuring that out. If you guys have any suggestions of how to fix that, if it's something else, let me know. But this is a decent start. Do I want to just get my colors out here? I do want to make sure I can play out loot to everything here. And so I probably should be holding up Sokenzan. I don't know. I play a little bit less aggressively when I'm still trying to figure things out again for the first little bit here. So we'll play this. If I'm up against a deck that's going to be countering stuff forever, I want to get this out first. Let's get the treasure token. That way we can get to the terror right away. And I feel like they're going to flash something in here. All right, they didn't. I swung it anyway, which probably wasn't the right idea. But here we go. So now loot to everything will give us 2 looks at the top of our deck at the beginning, which gives us extra lands, which is nice. It is interesting when I already have like a Terror of the Peaks I want to play. It makes me feel like I need to play the other card. And I think right now we are just going to be going, ooh, oh, those are good cards. Getting Urabrask going before I get the Terror of the Peaks out is pretty fun. Oh man, And now that I can actually kill this with the Invasion of Tarkir, man, I'm so greedy, and I don't feel bad about it. So we're gonna go ahead and go for this. So let's play out Invasion of Tarkir. We'll kill this. I don't even know what this does, but it doesn't matter because it's about to die. I'm so out of the loop when it comes to Magic that there's lots of cards. We'll find out later if it does stuff. We'll play out Urabrask's Forge. We already showed our Terror of the Peaks that we could play it, but this is what we're here for. We do have to play the treasure token because we want to be able to play. Oh wait, oh, wrong way. Ooh, I could go after Invasion, but we're do I want to go after Invasion actually? We're gonna send you guys at that, and I can send Urabrask Forge next turn with a little bit more damage, so I'll get at least 1 more point of damage in at them. Let's read this card now. 3 mana, 2/4. Look at the top card of your library anytime. At the beginning of each combat, you may reveal the top card of your library. Reveal a creature card this way. Okay, so it's just value stuff. The top. All right, so we are dealing with black mana here as well. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we hit our land drop, which is legit. And I think I'm just going for the Terror of the Peaks here and going for doubling. I'm a little bit worried they're going to have a board wipe, and so like Oko could be worthwhile, but we just got to get our big beefy guys going because that's what we're here for. It's time to have some fun. All right, so I do have to have the double red. We're going to go for the Gala Greeters again with the treasure token. It means we'll lose out on this stuff, but I'm okay with that. And here we go. All right, so Gala Greeters. So I get a little bit of damage here right away. And I could throw this 2 damage here, or I could throw it onto this guy and see if they don't want to lose it. So like I like hit. I think I'll throw it there. And we'll put a counter onto Gala Greeters. I'm debating how aggressive I want to go after this, because if I hit this, they die. Or I can kill the Drifter for sure. I don't want to really offer up the Gala Greeters, because it's such a valuable card for me right now, especially without the second red source. But this is really good too, and I could just kind of go crazy here. So we're gonna go for it. They will block Gala Greeters, I'm mostly sure. And here's the question: is if I just want to start throwing this at face instead. Yeah, this might be a bit too greedy because like the blowout potential here is pretty bad. But getting this out a little bit early means that when my dragons attack here, I do lots of damage. This says whenever a dragon you control attacks, it deals 2 damage to any target. And so yeah, having a couple dragons was going to be really good. They're going to see my hand, and hopefully they cry, because this is a pretty busted hand. Yeah, Nissa hitting with the Tear of the Peaks. We could also just get the, oh, they took the second Tear of the Peaks. Drat. Oh no. I mean, what's bad about this hand right now? Like, any card they take, of course Invasion is maybe the weakest, but we can use it to kill something and get like an Oko back, and so I'm fine with whatever. You do whatever. I'm just having a good time. Urabrask takes it back as well. The biggest question now is, can I just straight up kill him here? All right, so we got some extra cards. Man, this is so good. Ooh, Aether Channeler with Tear of the Peaks is really good here too, because I could just snipe those guys for 3 mana and then still play something else. Let's get out the green mana so I can have Nissa. This is the question, is how big do I want Nissa to be? Do I just want that to be the main thing I'm going for? In some ways it could be a good idea. I think the main thing with Nissa is I want this to be what sticks around if they do have some like a board wipe here in the next turn. And so this at the very least is going to be doing the good stuff. I don't have a lot of forest. That is the biggest issue with this. It doesn't help a ton with the forest. Oh, I got the torrent. Yeah, that's fine. Tear the Peaks, fine with. This is the main point. I'm going to kill all of it. Could go face there. But now our hand is awesome. Oh, and we also get the 4 points of damage here as well. This, like, if this deck goes unanswered, like, and they have to answer everything, this is really good. The biggest weakness with this deck is definitely that we don't interact as well in the early game. Like, we're blocking and we're setting ourselves up, but we're not necessarily interacting with the opponent as much as we should be, or as much as maybe we could be if it was built a bit different. But I feel like this does maximize the potential for like loot and Oko. And of course, when you have loot, when you have abs, no one can stand up against it. Up against Aji Orange, and oh man, I hate losing a hand that has 4 lands in it. But this hand does nothing. I do get a draw, but like if this is mono red, I'm just straight up dead here. And so I have to mulligan. Oh, that's really not good. I can play this card. And this is the hard part, is that I don't want to go down to 5, and so you kind of get stuck keeping this instead of potentially getting a really good draw on the other one. And so we're going to drop the expensive thing, try to get to the Gala Greeters, and just, you know, hope and pray here. Yeah, mono red. So I think this was the better choice. We do have 2 removal spells in this one. We have Aether Channeler, which can put up some good blockers. Is that amazing? No. Is it enough? Also probably no. But we're gonna be okay. Also probably no. But you know, that's not a land. Let's see how it goes. All right. Play out Invasion of Tarkir. Kill the scamp. We take 1 down to 17. And I mean, for them, a semi-slow start. They haven't plotted anything yet. I'm assuming this is the deck that plots, or it's just the version that was there before, which is still powerful. I do think the plot version that's with the new set is much better, but some people have all the new cards, some people don't, and so this is kind of an interesting time to be playing, especially when I'm still in silver, because I haven't played in forever. I tend to run up against more people that aren't as invested in the game per se, and so may not have as good of cards. Oh, did not hit another land. 9 cards deep, only 2 lands, and I have 27 lands in this deck. I'm not going to play another one, so we're just passing. And I mean, luckily they didn't play anything. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. I do get to do 1 more point of damage with this Invasion. They're doing nothing, which is really, really interesting. I mean, Urabrask's Forge, if they don't have an Abrade here, like I'm wondering if this is some sort of like, it's got to be an aggro deck. They must just have like all of the combo pieces and none of the creatures right now. And so Urabrask's Forge, I could go after the Invasion of Tarkir, and I think I will. That might force them to answer this. So if they have like a shock or something, they might start shocking these guys earlier than just if it was going at face. And I want any kind of damage going towards my creatures instead of my face. And so yeah, that's not green. Yeah, so let's go ahead and go to combat. We'll do this after. We're going to try to draw. Hit in for 2. I mean, we're still in a place like this is one of the reasons I do like Urabrask's Forge, is that it's just a really good finisher in a deck that has decent value everywhere else. If it does hit and we can stabilize in some way, see, so happy. And this just gets bigger every time. So I'm absolutely fine with this. Aether Channeler. Let's draw a card. I would love to get that bird and be able to pressure this as well, but we have to hit this green land. Please, pretty please. That's not green. I do have a couple of basic lands in here, and I think I need to take them out because I had them in initially because I had an invasion of I forgot what it was, and so I had 3 basic lands of each type because of the other invasion, and I think I took it out and forgot to change the lands. So 3 steps ahead is not bad. Trample Prowess. All right, so for 4 mana, I can create a copy of Aether Channeler and set this back turn. I don't see anything bad about that. And so we're gonna go ahead and do that. Ooh, I could also copy the Forge. Does that actually get me more ahead? It probably could, but I think bouncing this or getting the card draws are both good options. They could kill it here in response. And this feels weird not going for the card draw. I think just slowing them down now that this is getting big enough, if they don't have removal for the Forge, we can at least race a little bit. And if I draw out more removal, yep, I like it. And I mean, they're playing out any creatures that they have. So my guess is this is the only creature that they have at the moment. And so bouncing it back, setting them back another turn here is going to be brutal for them. Kill another Channeler, totally fine. I'm surprised they didn't shock Lightning Strike in response to me targeting the Channeler before. That would have been a great fizzle. I could have held up the counterspell as well, but when they had so many cards to go with this, I felt like slowing it down was better. Okay, do I go for the counter now? All right, now let's see if they play anything here. Because it has prowess, this could be a bit of an issue. We'll just send the 1 there, and I'm going to send this. It already has trample. I'm going to send this at face and see if they do go for like a greedy block with prowess. I can still make a copy of it as well. I could also make a copy of the dragon after the fact. Also not a bad idea. Okay, let them do it. All right, so yeah, I'm fine with all of this. Prowess. So here's the question is now, do I want to create the other one and bounce this back again? Or do I want to kill it? And I think it's this. Create a copy again. I'm liking the 3 steps ahead. If we hit 1 land, Tear the Peaks is online with everything else. So remove, return this back to the hand. Yeah. This is a really weird game. I kind of like it though. It's kind of fun seeing different versions of the typical games you have. Man, where's the green mana? Really got to hit the green mana, don't we? All right, I am going to go ahead and hit this now. Because they have to have prowess, I'm going to go ahead and show the Terror of the Peaks. I'm kind of hoping for a scoop of some sort here. But I'm wanting them to spend as much mana just dealing with this over and over again. And so submit 1, reveal that, kill you. So they have to either prowess twice or put something that gives defense, like a, I forgot what the thing is. Yeah. All right, antagonize. Yeah, but if they're not doing that against me, I'm extremely happy about this. And so we're gonna go ahead and still swing in with this one. I need to start going the other way, but that's fine. Okay, so swing in there. See if they have another lightning strike. I would love for them to use that. All right, great. Now we have a 4/4. Got decent blockers. They could go off this turn, but now they only have 3 cards and I still have 17 life. I don't know how they would get there with that. Is prowess if it does transform? That could be an interesting way to go about it. They have enough mana, they can probably prowess, and go crazy here. So it's a 3/3. Double prowess is interesting. How many of those do they have? They get another card draw. Up to 7. Oh. Big dude. Dang. All right, so we do have to block. So we'll block there. Not sure if it's worth blocking anything else. So this brings us down within lightning strike range, and that's where I'm debating if I bring in the other guys here. I feel like I need to be greedy at least a little bit at some point. Man, I would love to have Gala Greeters. We survive and we go down to 3. Do I go one more just so that I'm out of the lightning strike range? I think we do. It's a little tricky, but it'll work. So 4. They still have this guy out there, which is bad. Green mana. Oh my goodness. And I have nothing to play? That feels so bad. And it's a tramply guy. If they have any kind of interaction, especially into these big beefy things, I'm in all sorts of trouble. And how many cards did I go not finding a land? I have 27 lands in this deck, and we have drawn some extra cards here as well. Not as many as I'd maybe like, but all right, that's not lethal yet. Very, very close. I do get to kill it here if they don't have anything else. I go to 1, but it's dead and they have to find another creature, or they have a shock. All right, so here, is there any way I can gain life? That is all that matters now, is I need Gala Greeters. And I think it's double Gala Greeters. I'd love to get loot to everything out here, but we're gaining life here. Letting Urabrask come out, we're gaining life. And that is where, oh yeah, now we're online. Now we're online, gain the life. Life is good. And I don't think that they're going to have a way to kill us in one turn, unless they have, like, I guess they could have a hasty guy. Chick, please don't have +4 again. Or an, oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, we have a shot again. All right. Another Gala Greeters? All right, so we go, as awkward as it is, I go Terror of the Peaks first, I think. No, I go Gala Greeters first. Gain life. Yay. And then Terror of the Peaks. Good game. Yeah. Yeah. And then this guy would hit, and then Terror of the Peaks hits in. Yeah. Wow. That was that was interesting for sure. All right, and so now we have Spyglass Siren, which does hopefully help us with land problems. Between Aether Channeler and these guys, even though we don't have green here, I'm much more okay keeping this hand, especially because we have so much to play. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and get Otawara first. I definitely don't want to be shocking myself too much, or pinging myself, I guess, technically. I think when it's 1 damage, it's called ping. Oh, man. My face is in the way over here, isn't it? All right, so I could just kill this. It gets to return. I think I need to hit land. And so we're going to go another Siren. Map token. Counter here. And we got a land. Not the right one, but it's a land. 19. I probably will just block here against the conscript. I do want to just slow the game down. I think that my deck can win against the long game, and so basically I want to just slow down early game for this deck. There's other times it's more okay to kind of let damage come in early on and then like turn the corner. Not necessarily with this one. I think I need to draw here again, or I could play Siren and double map to try to hit the land. And this at least blocks something. I could return one as well, just to kind of slow them down a bit. Hitting a green source is really important. Forge isn't as big of a deal. Getting a bird isn't terrible either. I think it's card draw. This is just that same issue of, okay, do I slow them down here more in the early game, or do I make sure I'm hitting what I need to? And I never know. Okay, so this is the skeleton deck. Okay, this is all about being crazy aggro, so that is a little bit scarier. So we hit the one that doesn't come back. We're killing whatever we can at this point. Not bad. So I could go Siren, Tarkir. This does give these guys haste, and they don't come in tapped. And so as long as they can commit a crime, killing them doesn't necessarily help me a bunch. Same thing with putting them back to their hand. So creating another blocker is not bad, and also just drawing the card to hit the land is probably better. Or I could go for the map tokens. I can do like Tarkir and map token to try to get these guys big enough to be blockers. But I think it's draw, try to hit the land this way. It's a land. It is a land. Man, what is up with my green mana? We're going to say no attacks because I'm fine double blocking. I might be fine double blocking. We'll see. There's also like tiny bones that might be swinging in. I'd love to throw out my spyglasses against them. My sirens? My spyglasses. Yeah. Also, this guy comes in tapped. I'm trying to think of what other skeletons there are. There's not a ton of skeletons in the format. So I'm feeling like they're going to try to bring these guys back. And I think it's just a chump here instead of double blocking. I think that they are totally fine spending 2 more mana to get these guys back. I will trade off with 1, force them to spend it there. And I've successfully slowed them down. Now I need to do so much more than that. Okay, I'm going to try to hit green source here. Oh, okay, I can play Urabrask, Forge, and Tarkir though. Is that really that good going aggro against them instead of hitting the land? I don't think so. I really got to just hit the land here. So I'm not caring about the Forge at the moment. The issue is if they have removal here, this is a blowout. We hit green mana. And now Oko is online. We take a damage, but being able to make 3/3s, I'm pretty okay with. All right, so what do they have that could make me lose? If they have like force me to sacrifice, just having a hexproof does not actually save Oko in the same way. I'm going to make an elk. I need to have a blocker. They brought back the Corpse of the Lost. And so now, I mean, any damage they want to send towards my face is okay. Is it highest hero mana cost, the Shieldred's Edict? It would already hit Planeswalkers anyway, and so I'm just going to say 0. I don't need this. It's going to be summoning sick anyway. And we're going to say no attacks. We're just keeping the game slow at the moment. And then hopefully loot starts turning the corner for us. All right, so they have removal. Bring back the miner. Yep. I'm okay losing Oko. Lots of guys. Corpses of the Lost. Such a good card. It says Menace. Everything at face. Not everything at face. We're definitely blocking. I'm not taking 9 damage here. And this is the issue. We just need to have a board wipe of some sort. And the hard part is that we're playing so many creatures that playing board wipes doesn't make a whole lot of sense for our deck. Playing Oko and having board wipes doesn't make a whole lot of sense either. And so I've been having a hard time with finding the right build for this. Loot is fun. I think it's Gala Greeters, Gain Life, Invasion. All right, so I can't Invasion and Urabrask, can I? I can Urabrask and get a token. But that doesn't do, it doesn't do enough, does it? And everything comes back. So we're just gonna say hello. And we're just gonna kill a guy for funsies. Something that'll come back all hasty and everything. It'll be perfect. All right, yeah, kill my loot, bring him back, swing in for all of the damages, and yeah, we just didn't quite have enough here. I think that if we had gotten to like a Terror of the Peaks a bit earlier, they had removal. There was the biggest thing with this deck is they run a lot of cut downs to try to force through the early damage, and so if they didn't have the cut go for the throat, I had a chance of it being a good turnaround point with that. If I had the Terror of the Peaks, Nissa also would have been decent, being able to put out a big guy every turn. But so it goes. All right, we have our colors. Legit. Gala Greeters. Very, very good in this deck. Let out past the turn. Up against Arby. Guys, I have a confession to make. Arby's sauce is something I'm addicted to. Not gonna lie. It is super good. All right. Ooh, a red-green version of this plot deck is something I've not seen before. We need to get out some green mana here. They're going off on this turn, and so we're gonna go ahead and just swing in, and we're gonna hold up counter magic, and we are just gonna hold it until this thing never gets played. Because I think right now with 3 mana, they have the turn 3 kill. And I'm hoping they're greedy enough, just like, I want the turn 3 kill, and they're going to go for it. But yeah, so this is the guy here. They're plotting again. Show off. Showing off. That's my turn. And yeah, we're just going to keep holding back. The only way we win here is just by not getting too greedy. Next turn, I can start playing Gala Greeters. I can start getting treasures and playing more stuff. What else do they have here? Enters the battlefield. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. Interesting. I wonder why they... Yeah, it's a little bit of a different version than I've seen so far. So there could be some surprises here for sure. For sure. This doesn't have haste. I'm fine with that. They're definitely testing to see whether or not I have interaction. They have so much stuff here. Get past to my turn. This can still go off, which is scary. All right, so yeah, Greeters. Why on earth would you tap down 2 blue? Okay, you got to be really careful, apparently, with the auto tapper here, because that just, I think we just lost simply because of that. I'm gonna get out Aether Channeler instead, but man. Actually, I'm going to hold it up, but 3 steps ahead needs an extra blue to be played. Because it's not in the mana cost, it didn't keep it around. And so I did not expect that. And now we're going to pass. And we're going to just hope they don't go off next turn. And just see that I still have 3 mana up. I'm not hovering over my lands. And we're going to really, really hope that we're okay here. 5 mana, they've got to be going for it at some point here, right? They're itching. We have double Gala Greeters. We can start pulling ahead. Oh man, that makes me so angry. Okay, I'm gonna hover over this. It still lets me like, okay, do I want to counter something? I don't know. We're gonna let that resolve. Oh man. So yeah, so here, this still, oh, my face is right in the way. Yeah, you can probably see it here, but yeah, I need blue mana to go for this. So I'm gonna kind of cover over this. See if I want to go after it or not. I'll let you draw the card. I really just want to hover over this slick shot, show off. Don't go too crazy this turn. Don't do it. Try to, oh no. Stinking auto tapper got me. Why would you tap? Yeah, man. That was brutal. Yeah, and we're I guess I shouldn't just like give up here. Discard a card. We'll discard the land. Should have gone there with the other one. I'm just trying to show like, yeah, I done messed up. It's over. Auto tapper messed me up here. They still would have gone in for massive hits. Oh yeah, with the backup. Yeah, okay. This deck's popping off. We'll let them do all of the fun things. Menace and Trample. Yeah. Man, Demonic Ruckus is a busted card. Oh, I need to stop putting it up there like that. You guys have to read the small version. Or I can start putting my face over here, like where this guy is. I might start doing that. Oh man, all of my hopes and dreams rest on you, Gala Greeters. We got this. It's so much mono red. I understand it's good, guys. I understand, but seriously, always, every time. All right. Spyglass is interesting. Not that interesting. I'm still gonna just play Gala Greeters and just hope and pray. They have the slick shot show off, and I have 0 interaction, and they could probably just win this turn. Okay, they're going off for another turn. Double show offs. Huzzah. No blocks. Hits in. Saving it all for another turn. I should have played blue mana earlier because then I could have done 3 steps ahead stuff. We're gonna go ahead and just get this out. Have a blocker in the air. Do these guys have trample by themselves? No. Man, I really want life, but I also need to be able to play. Does Nissa create stuff with reach? No. So I guess we do go life gain. This guy a bit bigger to be able to block a bit more. I don't think that's good enough, is it? They're gonna go off anyway. And so, no, we're looking for better interaction than that. Which we don't really have. I'll swing in. Fast turn. I guess I could just be blocking Swiftspear. They are probably popping off this turn. They could be waiting for another land. They have it. Alright, they're going. Dude, this deck again. Yep, Kumano. Let's see how big it is. I almost guarantee this card's going to get banned soon. I think that mono red becomes way too powerful with it. It's powerful to the point where it's not, doesn't quite make sense to play much else. And I don't think that's good. Yeah, I should have held back Gala Greeters to block here. All right, so they have the Monstrous Rage. And I think that's game. If I blocked here, I probably would have had a shot. Not now. All right, we are on the play. We don't have turn 1 blue mana. Bit of a bummer, but I'm also fine saving that for the Gala Greeters anyway. If I'm up against a mono red deck, most likely not with those sleeves. All right, Canal. Yeah, get out the Greeters. All right, Jeskai so far. Is this a... Okay, this does have land types. Okay, so this is a domain deck is my guess. So board wipes galore is what we're worried about. Let's get treasure tokens to try to ramp a little bit earlier. Okay, map token. Okay, you, I want a counter on this time. You, a treasure token. All right, this is a really, really strong start for us. And not only that, but even if they have domain, if they have like a bit of swamp removal, it's not that powerful against little guys. They could have temporary lockdown, which gets everything though. And there we go. That's very good removal. That just stops us from playing all magic. I could return it back, get all these triggers again, and then do it, and then they can just do it again. Huzzah! Sounds amazing. All right, Oko goes. Get on the elk. Man, temporary lockdown is brutal.
Let's raise the stakes.
Yeah, that's a good card. Man, it feels like there's only so many, because of how powerful mono red and Boros are, and specifically I think mono red now with this slick shot. it makes it interesting to think like what kinds of decks you can play to interact with it well enough. Like Temporary Lockdown is not good enough to play against the Slick Shot anymore, and so I'm kind of interested to see what they end up using. I could bounce the Fight Rigging. I could bounce here. They would just play it again, which is I don't really want them to play again. I want them to be able to find it again, but all of those tokens are nice. Let's get out the Ridgeline. Actually, let's see. Should I draw first? No. What I'm looking for is something like Urabrask's Forge, I think is what I really need to be going for. And so I guess I need to start drawing cards, right? I haven't committed a crime yet, but that's fine. Discard 2 cards. Could hold up Counter Spell. I don't think I'm at a place where I need to counter too much yet. I should have drawn a card first. The question is, do I bounce the Fight Rigging so they don't have a chance to get that right away? I could like force them to play it again, basically on another turn. We'll draw. Become that person, swing in. I'm at least keeping a clock going with the Elk. I think Oko is a decent response to this deck because I can play out a creature, swing in. It does have hexproof, so it gets away from the... As long as I can target the creature. They can't just hit me with a... Oh man, I can't think of the card. The Domain 1 mana white one, or it's like 6 mana. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. You probably don't. We'll figure it out together. All right, this is a little bit of a different version, which is fun. I'm liking this at least. All right, is this any target? Okay, so I can kill the Khond. Elish Norn, not great. I prefer that wasn't there. There's a lot of good things happening. I think we have to draw. I'd love to create an Elk because we gotta do something else. Definitely you go away. This lets me create a copy, which means I can like bounce Elish Norn again to force him to play it, which they do have the mana to play it, but that would take a turn. And that might just be the play. So I'll get rid of the Greeters here. Without the land. So how many effects can I do here, actually? I need 3 mana. Oh, so I need 4 mana to create the token, and then I can also draw cards and then discard a card. I think I want to kill the Khond instead. So let's go ahead and just do this. Okay, create token of Channeler, auto pay. Oh, this one stops my abilities as well. Is it all permanents? Yeah, good game. I forgot that this stops my abilities as well. I knew that it triggered theirs an additional time. Man, and Temporary Lockdown hits twice. Not that that matters a ton. That hits hard, man. All right. Yeah, we're built around ETB effects. There is another card that stops ETB effects as well. That was brutal. All right, good early game plays. We'll keep it. Ridgeline, get on out there. We got our colors. Let's see if I can hit a deck that's not just like the absolute nuts. All right, looks like it's Boros tokens. All right, Greeters with loot to everything is interesting. I'm not sure what I even hit with the Tarkir. And so I think I'm trying to go for life gain with the Gala Greeters as many times as I can. Maybe get some counters on it so it's a blocker. Yeah, we'll see. It depends on how much they pop off. They're hovering over that. Oh no, demolition. Ew. No blocks. Loot to everything can at least block, right? So that's something. So do I get a counter here just so I can block? That is actually an interesting option. Getting treasures is also good. Gaining life is also good. I'm gonna go treasure this time to try to create some options, because I think if they just have any way of buffing, then it doesn't really matter me getting a counter on Gala Greeters. Getting it up to 3 would matter. Gala Greeters, Gala. I've said it different, I think, every time I've said it. And so we're having fun with it. Okay, we get 2 peaks at the top. That's part of the reason I wanted the treasures here as well, is just to try to find if there's anything else I can do. I need to find some way to do board, sweep the board in this stack. And are there any like blue cards that sweep only their side of the board? There actually might be, and I forgot about them. All right, Terror of the Peaks is a big deal here. If I can get Terror of the Peaks out and survive a turn, I don't think there's anything better. And so I'm letting go of the Oko, especially the extra, getting out Terror of the Peaks, and let's see here. Am I gaining life? Creating a treasure again, I think. Or is it reinforcement? So here's the question. Do they have the card that does all the damage to this guy? No attacks past the turn. And now we just got to put out creatures onto the battlefield. Once we do, we start sniping down a bunch of fools with Terror of the Peaks. And if we can do that quick enough, we're in good shape. So probably our best draw is actually the guy that creates a bird. Aether Channeler, I think is his name. Just gives us 2 bodies with Terror of the Peaks would be really good. If I can play him and Oko, I don't think I have quite enough for that. Or just any other like 1 or 2 mana creature would be really great. So I can play Oko and them. And I get a lot of looks here, so that's nice. Urabrask's Forge with Oko is quite swell. Okay, so how much mana do I have? All right, so we're gonna go with Tarkir here. Actually, and Oko or the Forge? That is an interesting one, because having this every turn is really good, but it also isn't defensive. So we're going Oko. We'll have to look for the Forge again later. Play Oko. Gets out another reinforcements. They're going really wide. Okay, and we start sniping.
Majestic creature, isn't
Let's put a counter on it this time, dude. Just stop. Invasion of Tarkir. Kill the vampire, I guess. Oko becomes a copy of Terror of the Peaks. Oh, and we swing in here. And this is one where it's a little bit greedy and awkward. But we do hit it because now this is Terror of the Peaks. We play this out. Dude, this guy. The worst kind of player there is when they're just like doing the sleep emoji when everything awesome is happening. It's like, do you not even care about fun? All right, we lose 1 blocker, we get another one. Life is good. Here we go. And yeah, they had the nuts, and I don't think it's good enough. Oh, I love the salt. Bring it on. All right, opponent is going full salt mode, and oh, I love it. We'll play out here. Oh, I can go Sokenzan as well. I should have played the untapped land though, but that's okay. We'll go with this. Yeah, we'll kill you. Gain some life. Create a bird. Oh, yes. This is what we're here for, guys, is to make these guys just cry and just have fun with it, you know? Let's create an elk. Yeah, let's get all of the stuff. We're just gonna kill every single one of your creatures. You don't need them anyway. And then we'll become a copy of actually the Tarkir guy here. And now when all of these dragons attack in, I think I get to just snipe down everything, right? So yeah, we get to hit a few times. Just a few. Yeah, just a couple times. Dude, Oko with this Thundermaw is actually kind of insane. So this is what this deck can do. how to make it consistent is something I would love to have ideas down below. I think you have to have creatures of some sort to be able to make Oko really work. It can shine by itself by just like copying elks though, like and having other flyers like Terror of the Peak. So maybe I do just have like board wipes in the early game, but like Brotherhood's End doesn't work well with planeswalkers. There is the new one that hits like crimes or outlaws or non-outlaws, and so yeah, there's lots of interesting things. All right, because they have a chance to block here, they're roping again. Oh, right, yeah. Always have a black cup friend there, my friend, and we'll kiss you goodbye. Yes. It's the abs. Can't compete with the abs. All right, guys. So this deck is really fun to play. I hope you guys enjoyed watching because it was really fun to play. The biggest issue with, I think, the format, more so than just like this deck, is that there are some insanely fast decks out there. And so there are just certain cards that work against those decks and certain cards that don't. And honestly, these colors don't have many of those cards. And the ones that we do have are terrible for everything else we're doing. And so it makes it almost unplayable to play, you know, what is this again? I totally forgot the name of this teamer creatures, which is just a bummer because that's my favorite format. It's just like the Gruul or Teamer mid-range style decks where we're playing like these kind of cool cards that just get extra value as you go on and just kind of pop off after a while. That's my favorite way of playing, and it's really difficult to play that style of Magic nowadays. I think that is basically a thing of the past. And I'm hoping that I can at least provide this deck where it's okay, here's one that is fun to play, and when it does pop off, it is fun enough for you to deal with those mono red decks, mono red matchups that you do go up against. And I'm also just hoping that I give you guys enough good gameplay that you can kind of like, oh, you can experience it a little bit and not have to do it yourself. I did have a lot better games before I recorded as well, which were really fun. Like I had a bunch where I just popped up with Nissa and Terror of the Peaks, you know, turning Oko into Terror of the Peaks after combat, like play the elk first and then drop like a 7/7 and be able to just hit face. It's just, oh, it's beautiful. And only that, but then be able to drop a token, hit the Invasion of Tarkir with the trigger from Terror of the Peaks, create another dragon to be able to have another trigger. Like this just has some insanely big turns that are so fun to play. I do think the biggest card that was a little bit weak was Urabrask Forge. It was really good against some matchups, and I think it should probably be a one of. But I would probably drop 2 copies of this and find some form of removal in the early game, or just a little bit more. And the hard part is like shocks, lightning strikes. Those are typically decent removal, and then you get into like some of like braids, or you can get into a couple things with like 4 or 5 toughness that you can hit. I don't think they're good enough. Like that is the biggest issue. Is I was looking for something that was better, and I decided, you know, I'm just going to play the thing that is strong and they have to deal with it. But I probably would find something here for the Urabrask Forge. Oh, is there an actually good option? I don't know. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a blast to play. I would change up the mana base a little bit here from what I have. Yeah, like I said, I had these 3 lands. I would probably add in a bit more red into here so you can make sure you're hitting your land drops. This is an expensive deck. Lots of mythics around here, but you know, that's why. But some people can play it, some people can't. I spent 2 years not building these decks for a long time because I only do it when I'm making videos. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video though. See you guys in the next one. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.